What is up, enthusiasts? It is Cedar Flags here, and welcome back to another one of my videos. While I was making another one of my heavily requested videos, well, I got news of a breaking news story straight out of Orlando, Florida regarding Seaworld. In the past few years, we have had an influx of companies trying to buy other major companies. In 2018, Six Flags said that they were going to try to buy out Seaworld. Recent years, Six Flags said that they were going to try and buy out Cedar Fair. But today, we have one of those company proposals, and Six Flags has nothing to do with it. At around 11 o'clock this morning, news came out that Seaworld has placed a $3.4 billion bid for Cedar Fair and has heavy interest in purchasing the company. And man, this would be an absolutely massive move. Seaworld has great interest in buying Cedar Fair as well as all of the Cedar Fair properties, including all 11 amusement parks, Gilroy Gardens, and selected water parks. This would be an absolutely massive move for the Seaworld chain because let's just say in the past 10 years, they haven't had the best of luck with public relations. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about why they would want to purchase Cedar Fair, what Seaworld Cedar Fair would look like, and if it's really going to happen. This is Cedar Flags, and today, I am going to talk about this breaking news story. So, why would Seaworld be making such a bold prediction? Well, let me just say that Seaworld has had a pretty treacherous history in the past decade. Let's look at it. If you don't know, in the early 2010s, a documentary called Blackfish came out, and let's just say for a while, it definitely tarnished Seaworld's reputation. This documentary exposed the unfair treatment of animals at various Seaworld parks, following the deaths of some trainers. And let me just say, the park got a lot of backlash to it that they still feel today. They had a massive decline in attendance, and financially, they were not doing anywhere near as good as they used to. If you don't know, Seaworld started to transition from animals to rides in the mid-2010s, and they have come out with plenty of rides since then, including rides like Mako, and the absolutely massive influx of roller coasters new for 2020, 2021, and 2022. You have a ride at every single major Busch Gardens and SeaWorld park, which really tells you that they are trying to steer away from their former reputation. I could see them trying to purchase Cedar Fair simply just to regain power. This would definitely be an absolute bold move from SeaWorld and the biggest company acquisition in their history. This would be, absolutely massive. This would almost triple their amount of parks and have parks all around North America for them. They would have parks ranging from SeaWorld Orlando to Canada's Wonderland to Busch Gardens to Gilroy Gardens. This would be such a big purchase that the face of the amusement industry may change forever. So that is why in the next part of my video, I want to talk about what exactly would happen. So let's get right into that. So, what would happen in the situation where Cedar Fair is bought out by SeaWorld? Let's get right into this alternative timeline. I'm not going to go too in depth because this is a breaking news story, so I really don't have that much time to make this video. Anyways, first of all, I feel like there would be not a lot of change initially. Look at when Hershend has bought the non-Hershend parks, Darien Lake, Wild Adventures, even Kentucky Kingdom. When these parks were bought out, there was really not that much change initially. And some parks like, Wild Adventures, nothing has really changed there ever since the purchase. So I would really see nothing initially, but I feel like with licensing and copyright issues, they would have to change a few things, like some of the things in Planet Camp and other Snoopy-themed areas. I could see them theming their kiddie areas to something like Sesame Street because, I originally said Shamu, but they're trying to remove themselves from that controversy as well. I feel like Sesame Street themed areas would work perfectly if this acquisition was formed. So, the actual roller coasters, what would change? Well, honestly, I hate to say it, but I feel like some non-functioning rides like Top Thrill Dragster would be removed without question. SeaWorld does like to focus on their operations. Look at how B&Ms are all over their parks. They like to have rides with high capacity and low cost of maintenance, so I feel like rides like Top Thrill Dragster will be removed without any question. Accelerator, I feel like it would stay for a bit. So talking more about what new coasters would come, I have some good news for you guys because, SeaWorld still works with Intamin. Cedar Fair, Six Flags, the other companies have not worked with Intamin for a very long time. And Cedar Fair has publicly came out and said that they plan on never working with Intamin ever again because, rides like I-305 and Shoot the Rapids were quote-unquote their last straws. So talking more about Cedar Point's future, I think maybe, just maybe, we could see something new from Intamin there. In other parks, well, I think that's a good possibility as well. I think they would focus their main profit on parks like Cedar Point, Seaworld Orlando, and Busch Gardens Tampa and Williamsburg. Other than that, I feel like they will just lay a little low, maybe add something for Kings Island to replace that Vortex spot, but I feel like mostly things would stay the same. I really don't feel like the whole rides opening at each park will happen again, because that happened in 2020, and well, the pandemic definitely hindered that. And the pandemic, we haven't talked about that yet, that definitely hindered a lot of SeaWorld's money, and their future projects like Drakenspeyer and Project Penguin might not even happen at this point, thanks to their loss of money during the COVID-19 pandemic. And to be honest, I really don't feel like they would add a new coaster until maybe the years 2024, 2025, unless Cedar Fair already has plans for new roller coasters, which I think they will follow through with those, because, well, they're heavy in the planning stages, and roller coasters take about a few years to complete, multiple years before even the first announcement is made. Finally, I would want to talk about SeaWorld's place in the industry. SeaWorld plus Cedar Fair would by far be the biggest park chain in the United States. Currently it is Six Flags with more than Cedar Fair's locations, but Cedar Fair combined with SeaWorld, yeah, that would definitely blow Six Flags out of the water. And let's be honest, a lot of people would agree that Cedar Fair has less quantity but more quality. Imagine if SeaWorld and Cedar Fair were one chain. That would be something that Six Flags would have to reckon with. And I don't think Six Flags would have any of an advantage if that ended up happening. Cedar Fair would have the theme parks, the money, all of that jazz. And I really think that would be the time when Six Flags would be officially crowned the budget chain. So let's get into, is this feasible? Is this going to happen, and what do I think about this possibility? Let's get right into it. So, to look into the future, we have to look into the past. The question I want to be answering is, will this happen? And let me be honest and let me be clear, no, I don't think it will happen. This is definitely a very bold move, but I really don't think that this is going to happen for multiple reasons. One, Cedar Fair has tried to become more of an independent company. They have had acquisitions of other companies in the past, like Paramount Parks, and they're trying to grow the best they can to be their own company. Second off, Six Flags offered a $4 billion acquisition back a few years ago, and Cedar Fair denied, saying it was not enough money. This is only $3.4 billion, which is $600 million less than Six Flags' proposal. And I think for that reason, and that reason only, Cedar Fair is going to stay its own company and SeaWorld will have to deal with it. Sorry about that, SeaWorld, but I'm not really on your side here. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. Let me know what you think about SeaWorld's possibility of buying Cedar Point, and let me know if you think this is going to tarnish SeaWorld's reputation even more, because let's be honest, Cedar Fair is massive. Next time, go with Palace next, they're a much smaller company. Anyways, this is Cedar Flags, and I will see you all later.